Hi guys! Today we are doing the nerd tag. This was actually sent to me by, I forgot who. It was on someone from Twitter when I asked what kind of tag videos you want to see. Someone sent me a link to the nerd tag. You excited? I have him in the video right now because even though we both are big nerds.
Speak for yourself. Nerd.
I like some things that he doesn't, and he likes some things that I don't. So I figured these questions are basically for someone who's like the biggest nerd ever and likes everything in the whole nerd community. So I figured we would both kind of even each other out and be able to answer the questions. It's like a news reporter. Do you want to read them again? Or you want me to?
We can go back and forth.
Okay. So I think the first one would probably be more towards me, though I'm not that big of a Trekkie.
We can do both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kirk or Picard?
Neither.
I'm gonna say Picard.
Well, no. Kirk.
Kirk?
Yeah.
You gonna do your impression now?
No, I'm not gonna do an impression. But
you do a really good Shatner. As much as I enjoy Shatner and Chris Pine as Kirk, I'm gonna have to say Picard because I like Picard more and I like Next Generation more sometimes. Though I don't watch Star Trek as much as most people do.
most people don't watch Star Trek.
Favorite subject in school?
I answered first before you can go this time.
My favorite subject in school was actually history. It's really good in history.
My favorite subject in school,
and art, but
other than the extracurricular stuff, the art in the gym,
I sucked at gym.
I think English and writing and things of that nature.
Well, I was really good in journalism and stuff like that, but I think the whole I can't spell to save my life thing wasn't, like, kind of backfired on me. Okay. You probably won't get this. What would your Patronus be? Okay, do you know what that means?
Of course, Patronus is a really expensive alcohol.
No.
Right?
No. In Harry Potter, your Patronus
Can get you drunk.
it's kind of like your spirit animal, but not really. I don't even know how to explain it to someone who doesn't love Harry Potter.
Patronus.
My Patronus would be a penguin.
I'll take a panda. I'll be the Patronus panda.
Don't you remember when we watched Harry Potter and like the Order of the Phoenix when they were doing?
I try not to remember Harry Potter.
Okay, I can't even explain Patronus to him. Favorite superhero?
Batman. Batman. Yeah. Then I would say my favorite comic book
I don't think they have a super villain.
characters like we'll add that. But favorite comic characters like that probably would go, the whole Batman thing, and I would say I'm more of a DC.
Okay, that's the next question. So don't go that far.
But the Green Arrow, as well as not so much of a superhero because I don't really have
Neither did Batman.
crazy.
Though.
Well.
I'm saying that, and my answer is Batman too. But Batman and Green Arrow were more heroes because they had money for it.
That's the great thing about DC. It wasn't always.
Yeah, you weren't like.
We don't always have a power.
So was Iron Man, even though I completely hate him.
But
part of his reason was because he had the money.
But then I'd also say Gambit.
From X-Men?
From X-Men would be one of my top three.
Since we're picking 2 or 3.
I just did my top 3 because I can.
Yeah. Mine is Batman, The Flash, and Rogue. Which is kind of funny, because before we even met each other, it was like, I loved Rogue, so when we were, like, talking about superheroes, like, I love Gambit, I was like, I love Rogue. So, but Batman, for many reasons, since I was a wee child, I just love The Flash. I don't know why. I absolutely love The Flash, and Rogue, because, I don't know, I feel like when I was a teenager, I just really wanted to be Rogue.
I like The Flash, too. Hold on a second, I gotta go to the bathroom. Alright, that was good.
So we're gonna add on favorite supervillain to that?
Yeah, supervillain.
Okay, I'm gonna do first.
We'll do top 3 supervillains.
The Joker, obviously. I think I like the Joker more than I like Batman. The Joker is the reason why I love the whole, like, Batman comics and the Batman series. I love the Joker, and that kind of coincides with Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn and the Joker are together. Can I use them together, or no?
No, you go, yeah.
And then number 2 is Loki from, Thor, and he's, like, the Avengers, like, arch nemesis and stuff. I love villains, and Tom Hiddleston just makes an amazing Loki. He's gonna punch me right now. He's gonna hit me. Yeah, so if I had to say top 3, and I love Poison Ivy. I just love all the Batman villains. That's freaking amazing.
They do have some really good.
I
really like all of DC villains.
Like, I don't like a lot of Marvel's villains.
I think the reason for that, and the same reason I like DC more than Marvel, is it's written darker. You know, like you could see it in a black and white
coming
kind
up,
of format.
so you can say that.
So I'd say mine would probably come out to be. I mean, the only one that really comes to mind that I really liked a lot was Killer Croc. I don't know why. But that's the first one. Joker, of course, but...
the Joker is kind of... I will admit, the Joker is kind of cliche, but I just love the Joker.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze was also...
Except when Arnold Schwarzenegger played him.
Arnold Schwarzenegger did a pretty good Mr. Freeze.
I have to disagree. Okay, I'm trying to keep track of this video because it's going to go long.
Do pieces.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Neither.
I don't even know how.
If I had to go between both of them, I'd say Star Wars.
I wonder what I would pick. Obviously, I love Star Wars. My grandfather loves Star Trek, but that's how I watch Star Trek, is because my grandfather likes Star Trek, but I absolutely adore Star Wars. Everything about Star Wars just makes me happy and giddy, and when I'm sick, he knows to put on Star Wars, and he just tried to grab my Vader blanket, but it's in the bedroom. But he knows when Ashley's sick, I put on Star Wars. Marvel or DC? We already covered this. I like DC better than Marvel. Like he said, I just like their stories better, personally.
I feel DC's, like I said, DC, their stories are much darker, and I feel like it would be perfect.
But Marvel makes better movies.
It's not about the company.
I know, I'm just saying in general, Marvel makes better movies.
That's wrong. That is incorrect. That is absolutely incorrect. Take a look at the Incredible Hulk, not the one from the early...
Incredible Hulk was so bad.
Yeah.
But Green Lantern was horrible.
Every one of them deserves one. I mean, but yeah, it's something that could be written in black and white, perfect in black and white, and you can. I like the grittiness of DC.
I also like the characters in DC a little better too. Like, I like Marvel, and Marvel is also more commercialized than DC too.
DC's characters, I think the reason why everybody, or at least we kind of grasp them a little bit more, is because they can be more personal. Because, like we said before, they're not.
They're regular people.
They don't.
Some of them are.
Most of them are regular people with talent, not so much people that have magic that just comes out of their hand or something. Like it's they don't usually have superpower. but
some of them do though.
Yeah, well, not all of them.
Okay. In what unsports related way do you keep in shape?
I keep my thumbs at perfect and my fingers at perfect ability by playing lots and lots of video games.
What is your favorite video game? He's answering these. Goes, oh, I like video games, but I'm not as big as he is. Like, if I had to pick my favorite video game, I'd probably pick Spiral and Crash Bandicoot. I like video games. I like watching him play video games because I don't have the patience to sit there and play The Last of Us for like 8 weeks straight.
Favorite video game, nobody will ever get this, but Sega CD, Rise of the Dragon, the Blade Hunter story. Never beat it, because it was one of those games that you, and if you know about the game, you know about the frustration level. It was one of those games that you would get to a certain point, and if you didn't do something a certain way, there was absolutely zero chance that you were going to beat the game, and you would have to restart from way in the beginning. But they let you continue.
I think you're nerding out in this video more than I am.
So,
favorite author?
Maybe I'll just cut you off a little bit, but maybe I'll start videos of my own about video games and about my love of video games and all things like that. If anybody likes that, encourage me. Maybe I'll do that.
Favorite author?
Favorite author?
J.K. Rowling. I love Harry Potter. I have other favorite authors too, but I'm just gonna say J.K.
I'm gonna
all those books in that bookcase behind us are mine.
I'm gonna take my love of. I don't do a lot of reading of books, but because of my love for video games, I used to play a lot of shooting games when I was younger, and I would gotta say Tom Clancy, because playing those games that he would make in the Rainbow Six games like that, I decided to start to read those, and I really got into a lot of the Tom Clancy books.
What is the nerdiest thing about yourself? I can quote all the Star Wars movies. Like, I randomly will find a way in life to ask him Star Wars movies. We'll just be, like, doing something, and I'll just be like, I'll quote it. Like, I can't find a reason to quote.
Harry Potter.
Is it quote Harry Potter? Yeah. I will find, like, a reason. It'll be, like, something out of nowhere. And I'll just be, like, we'll be in the middle of a conversation, and I'll find a way to put a Star Wars quote, or, as they like to say, Harry Potter quote.
I'll get some of the Star Wars quotes, but she'll say something completely random, Harry Potter-like, and I'll just completely not know what the hell she's talking about. But, yeah.
The first time that ever happened, we were dating for, like, a week and a half. Was it, like, a couple weeks? Like, 2 or 3 weeks when I was in your bedroom and I said, Accio root beer. I was like, Accio root beer! And he just looked at me. And he was like, what? And now when I say Accio something, he just grabs it from me.
What was the question?
What is the nerdiest thing about yourself?
I can't really answer that.
What?
I don't really know something that makes me...
Nerdy?
Well, I don't
you know, like, every video game ever.
Yeah, I'm very, very deep in video game knowledge. Whether I played them all or not.
Like, we sat there and we were trying to figure out, like, what was on regular Sega and Sega CD, and he just listed them all. Like, even, like, the Rocky... Was that the Rocky game? Was it the Rocky game?
One thing I will never understand, back to Sega CD, is why they would put those little... gray useless sponges inside of the long Sega CD cases. That's one thing.
He can just go on and on about video games. Okay, nerdiest movie in your collection. The Star Wars Holiday Special is pretty nerdy. We're gonna agree with the Star Wars Holiday Special, right?
For you, yeah.
Star Wars. It's bad. It was like the longest hour in our lives, but we watched it. It's not even, like, an actual movie. We, like, burned it illegally to CD. Okay. What's your nerdiest?
I have no idea what you just were talking about. I did not take any part in that. Nerdiest movie? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't we have the Super Mario movie? That's pretty nerdy.
No.
Okay, we're gonna get back to that one because we're already on 15 minutes. Wow. Okay, this one is easy. PlayStation, Xbox, or Wii?
Come on.
PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Greatest nerd accomplishment. That time that I had tweeted Zachary Levi, and I asked him who would win in a fight, Han Solo, Indiana Jones, and I completely baffled his mind, and he couldn't answer that question because he didn't know. That's my nerd accomplishment, that Zachary Levi replied to one of my tweets.
Nerd accomplishment.
If I had to pick yours, it'd be the freaking book you got me last year.
Yeah, I can't really think of one of my own, but she was talking about this earlier about last year I got her an autograph.
You can see it. Can you see it?
You can't see it. An autographed Kevin Smith book, and I attempted to get all of the people from the show Comic Book Men to also autograph it especially, and I ended up talking to Ming over the phone, and sadly it was just Kevin Smith that signed it. They didn't get a chance for everybody else to do it, but I still talked to Ming.
Biggest nerd role model?
Biggest nerd role model, huh?
I think Kevin Smith is like my nerd role model. I love him.
Bruce Campbell.
Okay, this can be taken as dirty. What fictional character did you fantasize about as a kid?
Elvira.
What are you doing?
Putting my Elvira hair on. I'm the mistress of the dark.
If you want to say sexually, how can you fantasize about Elvira sexually as a child? A teen boy, okay.
Listen.
I fantasized about, like, being a superhero, or I wanted to be Princess Leia.
I used to have all of the channels that cable could ever offer, whether that be legally or illegally, as a kid, and I used to get all those channels. I was introduced at a young age.
Okay, so old school bit games or modern 3D graphics?
A little bit of both.
Nerdiest pickup line. Do you like Star Wars? That is mine.
I never really used pickup lines. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that one.
Okay, nerdiest article or clothing you have ever owned? I'm going to have to say either a toss between my comic book leggings or my Star Wars dress.
Probably my Mythbusters shirt.